This is the governor of Georgia.
Saw in my truck. Now career politician Casey Cagle is falsely attacking me. Why do you think that is, Jake?
Because you're a proud, hardcore Trump conservative on spending, immigration, and guns. Because Cagle's in a major corruption scandal and dropping like a rock in the polls?
You know what?
Sir.
You're starting to warm on me.
Yes.
So you got this political ad here, right? He's just got the shotgun over his shoulder. That's not a big deal. But then you have this political ad where he's asking tough questions, and then he says, if you want to date my daughter, and then the guy actually answers the question correctly. Jake, who the hell? They're just some paid actor. And then he clicks the gun, and it kind of points towards him, close to him. And so people are saying, he's, look at all these guns, pro guns. You got 3 guns on the side, 1 gun over his shoulder. And then with this, he's kind of pointing it at a young person.
2 things if you're going to date one of my daughters.
Respect.
And?
A healthy appreciation for the Second Amendment. Sir.
We're going to get along just fine.
Brian Kemp.
So why would you do the thing with the shotgun? Because you liked his answer. It doesn't even really make any sense, to be honest with you. If anything, you should put the gun down, Sir, what are you going to do if you date my daughter? What are you going to do if you date my daughter? Now, here's the Georgia 10th District. I want to say this is American, because you got state representatives and then you got American representatives. And he actually does this pretty good because he's doing a walk and talk, and he's going to turn around and he's going to shoot this little target here. I don't know if that's like a trash can or something. And then it's going to blow up. So it's real dramatic. So let's start from the beginning here. And let's get close up.
Hey, Mike Collins here, your pro-Trump America First trucker, running for Congress here in Georgia 10. Well, I understand Joe Biden was in town yesterday to talk about our elections. It seems that he and Kamala Harris called anyone who disagreed with the federal hijacking of this election a racist. Well, Joe, I got some news for you. Let me tell you what Georgians really believe. First of all, you count the legal votes that were cast in the state of Georgia, Donald Trump won this state, period. Number 2, get rid of those voting machines. Go back to paper ballots once and for all. Number 3, get rid of those ridiculous drop boxes across this state that the Democrats use to stuff the ballots and steal our elections. Number 4, let's go to national forensic audits in every election cycle across this country. As a matter of fact, it's one of the first bills I'll introduce when I get to Washington. You see, Georgians are sick and tired of weak-kneed, spineless politicians who won't fight for Trump, get to the bottom of 2020, and fix our elections. Well, if they won't do it, Mike Collins will. Send me to Washington. I'll fix this election. I'll get to the bottom of 2020, and I will fight for Trump's America First agenda.
So there you go. That's Mike Collins, right? Mike Collins and then that Kemp guy. So these are the politicians who are representing Georgia. Nothing wrong with being pro-American freedoms. I want to give an update to the Apalachee school shooting. So you have a bunch of information that just came out. Turns out it was a Caucasian, a 14-year-old Caucasian male. 14-year-old Caucasian male. There's 15,000 students that go to the Apalachee High School or to the school system. And let's see. So Colt Gray, 14-year-old white male. The FBI had actually said that Colt Gray was investigated last year by the Jackson County Sheriff's Office after Colt Gray allegedly had posted online threats containing photos of guns and a threat to commit a school shooting. The time and location were unknown. He was 13 years old at the time. Now, his father said that there are hunting guns in the house, but Colt Gray doesn't have unsupervised access to them. Not only are there hunting guns in the house, but there's an AR-15, an assault rifle. Now, the Clinton, during the 90s, Clinton, Biden, a whole bunch of Democrats got rid of the assault rifle, so it seems like that's the direction the Democrats are going right now. So the Colt Gray had denied making the online threats, and then it was just swept under the rug, right? So you saw the two politicians, you saw who their governor is, you see who their representative is. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the Second Amendment, but you also got the First Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. Why don't we, become extremists for the Third Amendment? No, I'm not going to let any damn soldiers quarter in my house. I will never let a damn soldier quarter in my house because I am a constitutional, republic-loving American. That's why. I wish there was more people that would talk about the Third Amendment, because if we're going to be, the freedoms are the rules, which means there is always an exception to the rule, but the rule is no soldiers can quarter inside your house without your permission. Now, the school shooting in Apalachee, the Apalachee High School shooting was the 45th school shooting so far this year, the deadliest school shooting since March 2023 massacre at the Covenant School in Nashville, which had left 6 people dead. 4 people are going to die, 2 teachers and 2 students. So the Georgia shooting is 14-year-old student accused. He killed 2 students and 2 teachers, and then 9 people were hospitalized. So 9 injuries, 4 deaths with an AR platform style weapon. Now what had happened was Colt Gray left his Algebra First class around 9:45 a.m. His classmate Layla Sayar-Rath told CNN. And then the classroom doors lock on automatically. And then near the end of the class, the suspect knocked on the door to try to come back, Layla had said. Now, when he left, he just left abruptly. He didn't ask permission to go anywhere, to go to the bathroom or anything. So somebody said, well, he's probably just going to skip. But when he comes back, he's got a gun in his hand. So another student goes to open the door for him because he's standing at the door. And then when he looks through the window of the door, he sees that Colt Gray has got that gun. He's got that AR-15 or whatever. So they saw the gun and refused to let him in. That kid who didn't open the door ended up saving everybody's life in that classroom. In that Algebra 1 classroom, everybody's life was saved because of that kid who refused to let Colt Gray into that class. I think he wanted to come to us first, Layla said. Yes, he did. Instead, Colt Gray is going to go to a nearby classroom that had the door open, and then he opened fire. And then Layla said you could hear about 10 to 15 rounds back to back. So 10 to 15 rounds, right? Bang, 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 bang. The first report of an active shooter came in around 10:20 a.m. 2 school resource officers and other law enforcement quickly arrived. The GBI director, Chris Hosey, had said. And those 2 cops, the 2 school resource officers are going to save the day, essentially, by having a police officer actually there. 2 14-year-old students, Christian Angulo and Mason Shearmer-Horn, went to school and never came back home. So RIP to Christian Angulo and RIP to Mason Shearmer-Horn. The shooter also killed 53-year-old math teacher Christina Irimi, Irimi, and 39-year-old math teacher and assistant football coach Richard Aspinwall. We are truly brokenhearted, Christian's older sister Lizette Angulo said, posted on a GoFundMe page to support the family. He's a very good kid, very sweet, very caring, and he was loved by so many people. Another GoFundMe page was established to help the family of Aspinwall, a beloved football coach. And then, of course, the 9 people were injured and hospitalized. Those patients are expected to recover, and we don't expect any more fatalities at this time. So it's probably going to be, hopefully, the body count, the death toll, is just the 4. Just the 2 students and the other teachers and the 9 people who were injured and hospitalized live. It's not immediately clear whether the gunman knew or specifically targeted his victims, the sheriff said. So that's interesting. Is there a specific motive, or is he just mad at everybody and everything, and so he just took it out on anybody he came across? Before the mass shooting, Apalachee High School had received a phone threat earlier that morning, multiple law enforcement officials had told CNN. So there was a threat that morning, but the phone call had said that there was going to be shootings at 5 schools, and that Apalachee was going to be the first. So it's unclear who made that phone call. Now, the district has 15,000 students, and then that's all for the details. I was just going to read some of the Bill of Rights. I remember when I was younger and I was in high school, and they said, "What's the First Amendment?" And I said, "Freedom of speech." And she goes, "No, it's actually the freedom of religion." Well, you know, being that you're trying to do well in school, you want to get the questions right, and you don't want to be humiliated, right? So I'm just going to read the Bill of Rights, because I'm not for sure if we're learning the Bill of Rights in our high schools. So Amendment number 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So there's actually 5 freedoms, 5 individual freedoms right there. The right to religion, the right to speak, the right to the press, the right to peacefully assemble, and the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. There's also the Establishment Clause, too. Amendment number 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Amendment number 3, no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house. No soldier in the time of peace shall be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in a time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Amendment number 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. That was a lot for the 5th Amendment. The 6th Amendment, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Amendment number 7. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of a trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall otherwise be re-examined in any other court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Amendment number 8, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Amendment number 9, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. And Amendment number 10, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it, to the states are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people, Now, we also got state freedoms, and so that's a good social studies project. I want everybody in America in high school, the social studies classes, why don't you combine the freedoms of the state Bill of Rights and combine them with the freedoms that's consisted in the U.S. Constitution. What do you say? That sounds like a good, fun little project, huh? Hell, you'd probably just want to do that on your own. How can you know the extent of your freedoms if you don't combine the state freedoms with the U.S. Constitution? You know?